Hello, gentle viewers. This is F Guardian welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 24 with the Oakland A's. In our previous episode, we did not quite make it deep into the playoffs. I was trying to remind myself here if this was just we didn't make the playoffs last season, which is fine. You're not gonna make the playoffs every season. And look, if we look at our team history, it's still very impressive. We missed the playoffs the year after we won the World Series. It happens. Now it's our chance to try to get back there. So let's begin with what does our owner want us to do? Our owner's being a bit of a jerk now. He's really grumpy that the fan interest has fallen. Which is fine. He wants a better draft record. Okay. These two are going to be tricky. Especially this one. But I have to do it by 2034, so I still have some time to make this one happen. You want me to win more than I lose next year, and you want me to improve our fan interest. Okay. So let's look at our coaching. I think it's always a good place to start. In just a moment. I'm so sorry. It's inevitable. I sit down, I start up OBS, I start to record, and I have to sneeze. Every single time. Without fail. We have some spots to fill, for sure. So let's begin with first base coach. Now, Mark Kotze only really cares about the bench coach. So anybody else I want to promote, I can. So let's do that. Adam Rosales is actually a pretty solid choice. Oh, that reminds me. I'm going to check something here in just a moment. But we'll get to it in a second. Oops. Mike Farmer would be a great choice, except his best skill is improving mechanics. I want to keep that in the minors. Plus, he'll get a promotion. Actually, I'm going to promote him to AAA while I'm thinking about it. He's going to be my new AAA manager. Do we care if somebody's controlling? One of us isn't happy about it, but I think that's probably fine. Jason Haney, again, I want to keep him in the minors. Yeah, let's not overthink. So let's just go ahead and promote Adam Rosales to first base coach. I need a new hitting coach. I figure Matt Young, has done a pretty good job. We can promote him. Gotta fill AA up. So Alvarez here gets promoted to being their pitching coach. Jose Santana gets promoted to being their hitting coach. Jason Haney is pretty decent. I think we can promote him all the way up to AA manager. Game. Why are you being weird, game? There you go. Dave Daniels is an amazing pitching coach. Again, we'll bump him up. Oh, right. No, he won't take that because it's a high A job. And they consider this to be a lateral move, so he won't take the promotion. He would take a promotion to being a manager, but I don't think that's a great fit for him. Carpenter 100% gets promoted to high A pitching coach. Who's gonna get promoted for hitting coach though? Okay, Vicente is a manager born. I'm gonna promote him and make him my high A manager. Oh, that's right. You're a fucking weirdo and you don't want to be a manager. Then I'm gonna promote you to hitting coach. You'd be so good at it though, bro. And let's promote both Shoemaker and Goldby. And then we'll find ourselves a couple of new peoples. Alright. I need a hitting coach. We could only try, right? Like, the worst that can happen is they tell me no. But I think he'd be an amazing talent to have in the system. And then we're going to do manager. I want somebody who has amazing mechanics. Will Venable, you're in. If you want to be. And then I think John Hogland would be a pretty fair choice. Yeah. I'm also trying to hire people that don't have jobs right now, because what that'll mean is it'll mean I won't have to fight with other teams to keep them. So, like, ideally I'd love to get Benny Robbins. Benny Robbins would be a perfect pitching coach. I'm going to try it, but I wouldn't be surprised if he tells me no, because he's working for somebody else. That's the coaching staff set. Bear with me for one moment, and then we'll continue. Alright, let's get the arbitration stuff looked at. We only have 5 people set up for arbitration, but some of them are our most expensive players. So we're going to have to treat this very carefully. Let us begin with the most expensive, which is Max Muncy. There's a couple reasons to keep him and a couple reasons to let him go. He has produced at a reasonably high level in the recent past. He's also had some injury problems and some Mark Kotze insists on not playing him problems. And his average was catastrophically low last season. He probably has next to no trade value. He's also a captain. And that also creates an interesting dynamic where if I let him go, we do have MJ Melendez, I suppose, but I'm inclined to keep him for one more year. Yes, it is going to be costly, but it won't cost us that much. And it just doesn't seem sensible to me that he's going to go from hitting 290 all the way down to 222. If we look at his BABIP, it just basically plummeted. All this is to say he was probably just unlucky last year. And I think a modest raise is a reasonable price to find out. So I think we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to offer him his 1-year deal. And boom, done. Next on the list is Max Clark. Now, Max Clark's had a fantastic year last year. But it's also hard to ignore the fact that his offensive capabilities have been somewhat limited. If I'm getting league average offense out of a center fielder, I'd better be getting world caliber defense. And the fact of the matter is, he's been good, but not great. So the question is, if we did trade Max Clark, who would we actually play at center field? And we do have other options. Like we have Sergio Oviedo, although he's not a very good center fielder, he's not that terrible. This is one possibility. Oviedo also hasn't had any playing time in AAA yet and barely in AA, so maybe we don't want to rush him like that. Maybe we don't want to rush him to that degree. I don't really have any center fielders that are major league ready. I guess we could check free agency. All this suggests to me it's probably not. If we're going to be competitive this year, I think we have to bring Max Clark back. I think we have to give him one more year to figure out whatever the fuck he's doing. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go and offer him a 1-year deal and see if we're in better shape next year. To maybe think about moving on from him. Next, I have Ariel Almonte. Now, Almonte's biggest issue has been getting consistent playing time. But he's also kind of dumb. And he also kind of doesn't work very hard. So Almonte is someone I'd be willing to trade. I don't know that I'll have a ton of value, but let's give it a shot. I think Almonte is not likely to be very successful. That's my opinion. Bryce Rainier. There's a lot to like about this. He's flexible at 3 different positions. A bit injury prone, but I'm not looking at him starting every day. I think he'd be a perfectly fine addition to the club. So we're going to make that happen. And then I know Rainier's going to need a 40-man spot. Boom, done. Next up is Jack Anderson. Jack Anderson wants a pretty substantial raise. He has been a pretty solid relief pitcher. But he's never going to be the closer. And I feel like it's not that hard to find good relievers, especially ones who throw fairly soft and who don't throw terribly hard. I think we go ahead and trade him too. And see what might be available. Not terrible. The benefit of Toombs is that Toombs actually has this gap power, which means we should expect lots of doubles from him. On the other hand, his offensive skill set isn't that varied, and he's already pretty much a finished product. He could get better, but it's certainly not a guarantee. And so I almost think I'd rather... I guess I go look at regulars, too. I guess I don't have to cut myself short. If we can find a genuine upgrade, then we can make that happen. Not really. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to non-tender him. I'd rather have the $3.4 million than I would bring him back. It's just as with one player left, Mike Neely. In a lot of ways, Mike Neely is a really good player. However, there is a question to be asked here, which is a first baseman whose primary skill is just getting on base, especially if he's not hitting for a decent average, a good investment? He's real smart, but he concerns me. And as happy as I was when we got him initially, he should be a lot more than he is. And so the question is there more for him to give us? Or is this it? Is this all we can expect from Mike Neely? And if that is all we can expect from Mike Neely, we're probably hurting ourselves by carrying him in the lineup. A first baseman with next to no pop isn't exactly a valuable commodity. Yeah, I think so. Tanner Talk can 100% be given that opportunity. And he's crushed it in AAA. He's got nothing left to learn at the minor league level. There's just something about Mike Neely. For whatever reason, he's not taking advantage of his skills. The downside of trading him is we would almost instantly regret it if he does figure it out with another club. If Mike Neely can hit 300 regularly, he's going to be a very effective hitter. But I don't think we're going to regret it that much. I think I'm going to shortlist him, but I think we're going to trade him. I like him a lot. I think he's a talented player, but I don't think he is a good fit for the Oakland A's at this time. And we're getting quite a few prospect offers, which is lovely. Any blues? No, the best we're doing is greens. Alright. Let's start with the Nate Arthur. Nate Arthur has a whole lot of power and pretty much nothing else to recommend him. I don't think that's a smart bet. I don't. So we're just going to move right on from there. Now, Josh Farrington, on the other hand, is actually surprisingly good. I don't know what his final position is going to be, but he shows enough offensive skill that I think if we could acquire him and Nate Arthur, I would consider that a worthy package. You need more time, I will give you that additional time. And then we'll just sim ahead a day. Almost. You're wanting fairly decent players. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think I'm willing to give up. Oh, you take Andrew Painter off my hands. Honestly, freeing up the salary is so worthwhile that I think this is the right call. I think this makes a lot of sense. Complete trade done. Now, who's going to start in place of Painter? That we'll have to figure out. We have a couple of young candidates. Potentially. We're going to figure it out, though. We're definitely going to see what we can acquire. Mike Swanson is always the candidate to start. I think he definitely could probably handle that. We could always try to pick up a one-year free agent. However we decide to do it, I think we'll be a better team with the money that Painter would have cost us. Let's talk Edgar Alvarado next. He is not developing. Oh, that reminds me. Somebody had pointed out that my minor league teams are legendarily bad, and we need to figure out why. I bet I know the reason why. I'm going to take a look at the AA Midland Rockhounds and look at Wide Eager here. Okay, that's fairly normal. Okay. So my thinking was it was going to be pitchers just pitching too much. I honestly don't know what's happening. It's probably the fact I don't have very much high-level talent. If I look at it relative to what league are we in? We're in the Texas League. Yeah. I think the issue is I just have shitty minor leaguers, but it is curious that none of them are playing at a decent level. That is curious. Like, the only minor league team that's even been decent has been the AAA league. Yeah, this is wild. I don't know why we're losing every game. It seems like we're not hitting. I'm going to check and make sure I have ghost players on. That's the only thing I can think of. That's under players, I think. No, it's not. It's under global settings. No. It's under players and team. Rules. Yeah, let's do this and see if that changes things. I'm betting what the issue is I don't have enough position players, and they're all playing out of position, or I don't have enough pitchers. One of the two. So back to the topic at hand, which is Edgar Alvarado. My dude is not hitting. He's not. He's had multiple seasons, and he is just not hitting. At this point, I don't think he's ever going to pan out as a major leaguer. I genuinely do not think so. Which is a shame. I spent a lot of money to bring him in, but alas, he's not very good. Oh, so we're going to trade him now. Why am I trading him? Because I'm going to lose him in the Rule 5, I suspect, if I don't trade him. So trade him I shall. Are there really interesting prospects on offer? I saw at least a couple of 60s, so that may be the route I go. Let's check out Juan Burquiaga. This kid could be a special player. He really could be. And he's also still super young. He's high adaptability. I'm not even going to hesitate. Done. Friends, I will return momentarily. All right, I have returned. So, trade is done. Is there anybody else? So here's the interesting question. Is say Juan Estrada or Nelson Carrera worth keeping? I frankly don't think Estrada here would get picked, and if he did, I wouldn't be too sad about it. His positional flexibility is lovely, but he's never going to be an offensive threat, at least not a real one. Carrera is fine, but he's performed really poorly in the minor leagues, so I don't know. I think we're probably just fine to let things go and then maybe get a couple of Rule 5 guys ourselves and see where that takes us. For right now, though, let us advance time. Okay. If that's what you want, then that's what I'll give you. I ain't got no problem with that. You know, I'm just not realizing I can just click and just offer them what they're asking for instead of, like, increasing it manually. Still feel kind of dumb, but... Muncy and Clark. There you go. Yeah, see, this isn't actually increasing, so I guess there is a certain level of you know, there we go. Let's do 175. Cantor signs. Robbins is pleased. Really? 200. This is my final offer. Take it or leave it, fucker. Ooh, a gold glove for someone from Oakland. It was Yoibe Ruiz. Nice. Very nice. And then we'll just skip through the other awards because I doubt we'll win any more of them. Really? Fine. You fucking jerk. Just take the damn money. He's a really good coach, which is why I'm willing to go so far to get him. You know what? Get fucked, dude. You're clearly just playing me as a chance to... Yeah. I'll go for Wes fucking Johnson instead. He's not gonna fuck me over repeatedly. He's almost as good, so fuck off. We're probably interesting Hall of Famers. Really? Can you fucking not? So somebody else actually just signed him, but you're pretending like, oh, her. You fucking jackass. I guess I'll offer this Caleb Cotham a chance. He seems like an okay sort. Oh, right, I did actually want to do Hall of Fame voting, didn't I? I'll go for Altuve. Seen a lot of unimpressive sorts, though, if I'm honest with you. I will vote for Mad Bum. I'll vote for DeGrom. I will vote for both Freddie Freeman and Paul Goldschmidt. I'll toss a vote to Cole Hamels. Andrew McCutchen. Well, it can make Shohei Ohtani look like a fucking chump because you only show his pitching record. Yeah, he's worth like 60 WAR, my guys. Yeah, he's 100%. Clear Buster Posey's not going to make it. I'm still going to vote for him, though, because I think he does deserve it, and I think he will get it in real life. Joey Votto, Adam Wainwright. There's a lot of players who are all right around the same level of skill. So it makes it challenging to decide who to keep and who not to bother with. I'll go for Giancarlo Stanton, though. Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. There's a lot of players that are just not that amazing. I guess Ryan Braun, if I'm going to be consistent about not caring about cheaters, I guess Ryan Braun deserves a vote. I don't think it's going to matter, but I guess it's worth it. I think that's it. I don't really see anybody else here. Oh, Nelson Cruz. I'll vote for him, too. But that'll be it, I think. I could see both first baseman getting in and Ohtani, but we'll see what happens. These have been some really low quality fucking classes here. Alright, I got some money. I got a lot of money. So the question is, who do we acquire and why? What is your obsession with not fucking starting Mike Swanson? I don't get it. I truly do not get it. Yes, let's take a shitty reliever or a follower instead of starting an actual starting pitcher. Quit being fucking weird, dude. Alright. I would love to get... Fucking Katsa's got a type. And apparently his type is relievers that can't start becoming starters. Whatever, man. We'll figure something out here in a little bit. Okay, I've got a fair bit of cash on hand. We're gonna lose Muncy, because I'm not gonna bring him back on a long-term deal unless he just destroys it this year. I don't have that kind of money. So what positions do we most need to upgrade? I'd love a starting pitcher. I think that's probably, first and foremost, my main objective. I've actually got about 20 million to spend. Oh, I want to check player development real quickly here. That's fine. And that's also fine, okay. Oh, I haven't been fucking around with the international shit. So I definitely want a starting pitcher. Beyond that, I'm not quite sure what I'm looking for. Oh, the issue is I've already done a practice. It won't be until... Yes. That's fine. Okay, which positions am I pretty happy at right now? Don't just randomly move Oviedo to first. That seems like a waste, but I guess. Kendall is good at short. Green is good at third. I've got several second base options. I could use a big time outfielder, I suppose. I definitely need more pitchers. Whether that's a quality starter or what, I don't know yet. But let's at least give it a look. I will look at basically, if there's like a really talented free agent, I'll give it a shot. But I'm not paying big bucks for a closer. I just spent $45 million on Juan Soto, which would be funny as shit, but I don't think that's a very smart idea. How long are you suspended? You're suspended for 2 games. Maybe. Let's go ahead and grab Matt Brash. I think he's a fine addition to the club. I think he'd make a really good pitcher. I'd ideally like 1 to 2 starting pitchers if I can get them for little money. I don't love the control. Oh, you're also selfish. No, I'm not. I don't think so. Brandon Williamson is someone I could definitely get behind. He's been a pretty solid starter for a while now. I think he would be a good addition. Ask for a response. I also wouldn't mind offering George Klassen a contract as well. Oh, you don't like Mark Kotze. Okay. Alright, so that's a couple of starting pitchers that I've got for... Do I want to go after one more starter? I could bring Ryan Cusick back. Eh. Why is Bo Bichette so cheap? He is fragile. That's true. Probably not a great fit. I don't think so. I'm really not that impressed by this free agent class. There's nobody here that I'm looking at, and I would go, yes, I definitely want to spend extra money to bring them onto my club. I mean, Edgar Caro is close, but not close enough. It's just not a very impressive free agent class. So I think our money is best spent, like, maybe in the off season, or like in the middle of the season to bring on some reinforcements. Yeah, he ain't nothing. I don't hate Curtis Mead, but he's a lot of fucking money, and I don't think he's worth it. Mm. Let's quickly run our international scouting thing. Alright, Rule 5 draft time. I will take any interesting players. Oh, I don't want to lose Matt Brash, which I'm pretty sure I would. I mean, I'm not really that bothered if somebody else takes him, though. And I'll see if there's quality Rule 5 guys here. Oh, there is a veritable cornucopia of quality relief pitchers. I'm not going to take on your salary, though. That seems like a waste. Actually like Baumler a lot here. Let's go ahead and take him. Or Baumier, perhaps. Oh, someone already grabbed Matt Brash. Well, that's fine. Yeah, Trevino's not that great. I think I'll also take Daniel Lloyd. And I think that'll probably be it for me. I don't think I want anything else from the Rule 5. I think it's hilarious that the one person that gets taken off me is the player I didn't really care about. Average, below average, not interesting. This is just a bad deal. Like, I'm not opposed to trading Max Clark at some point, but not for that. Yeah, I know. The fans are salty. I know. Yeah, not interested. I don't see what it is about mediocre relief pitchers you think I'm desperate for. Goldschmidt, Otani, and Altuve all made it. That's pretty sensible, actually. That makes sense. Tempting, but I don't think so. What happened to my other free agent guy I was trying to sign? Is he still thinking about it? Or did I get him? No, there he is. Yeah, you're on the Major League roster. I was never going to put you in the minors. You're too good a pitcher. Beautiful. I need to clear the second base jam. I think that's an important task here for the immediate future. I also probably need an outfielder. It could just be calling up Nate Arthur. We can definitely give him a shot in spring training and see how he turns out. Okay, I've got a lot of cap room. Ibarra is really, really good. I'm gonna just flat out offer you the $1 million and see if that's good enough for you. Oh, I didn't look at this shit. You're dumb but adaptable. I don't know what I think about that. I mean, he is a real freak. I am fine with this actually. Let's offer him a contract as well. And I definitely want to save some money for Ibarra because I think he's going to command the highest salary. And I don't want to spread myself out too thin. And then I think maybe offering Juan Valera is a fair choice. So let's see how all this plays out. Freak wants some more cash. I do like him quite a bit, so I will offer him a bit more money. Like, you're offering me garbage. You're offering me, like, several average minor leaguers. And Chad Morris, who is at least decent, but this is a terrible deal. I do like Miraz. So you're giving me two decent players in Miraz and Pitts, and then two shitty ones in Lieras and Ramirez. Is that the best I can do? I doubt it. So I got Ibarra and Valera. Okay, Ibarra wants more money. I'd rather focus resources on him. There we go. Okay, David Estrada is a top-tier prospect. He's the kind of centerpiece for a long-term deal. Kazuyuki Kosaka is fine, I suppose. It's not terribly thrilling, but I just think we could do better. I truly do. I think we could probably get more for Clark. Unless ideas, let's kick the tires on the center fielder market here. And if I can get a decent stopgap, I might actually trade him. I mean, Barrosa isn't terrible. If I can get Barrosa, actually I want him anyway because I do want another outfielder. I might actually consider trading Clark then. Are you fucking joking me, Skeens? That means I need another starter. Who's left in the starting pitching market? Kopech won't sign with me. Max Fried would, but he's honestly not that impressive. Aaron Savali's not too exciting. Garrett Cole is kind of meh. I mean, Justin Steele cost me no money, so we can go for that. No, I guess it does cost the major league option, but that's fine. Oh, fuck you, dude. No. The whole bloody idea was getting a cheaper version of Max Clark. I can't do that if you want more money than he does. Yeah, I'm gonna laugh my fucking ass off when you're coming back to beg me for an opportunity because no one else will sign you. Joe Long is not bad. Jeremy Potter sucks. And Chris Fox sucks. I don't know why you fucking thought, yeah, you can have a minor league deal. That's all I'm gonna give you. Alright, let's get some spring training offers out. Arthur, for sure, is gonna get an opportunity. Justin Steele, yes. Probably not Mike Howman. Skeens just goes right onto the IL. Like, I'm not gonna waste any time. Mike Swanson is a good fucking starting pitcher. You need to fucking stop being stupid about this, Katse. I guess he's not as amazing as I think he is. We'll figure it out. Really? Would you fucking stop playing starters as relievers and relievers as starters? Do you even know what you're fucking doing, Katse? Like, is there something deeply wrong with you that you just, like, randomly roll dice to decide who does what positions? Like, why is Jonathan Lowe pitching? What benefit is there to letting him pitch meaningful innings? He's not a terrible reliever, but he's not a starting pitcher. I do not understand you. Why is Michael Perez starting? I don't fucking know, other than the fact you're an idiot. Like, your lust for putting soft tossing lefties in the rotation is just crazy to me. You seem obsessed with having starting pitchers that can't stay deep into games. I don't know why, but that seems to be your new thing now. Like, I guess Brandon Williamson as, like, an incredible relief pitcher is still good, but... yeah. Guys, I don't know how fucking convinced I am that any of you know what you're doing. Good lord, I have a lot of mid-tier outfielders. I guess I have a theme. There we go. You can get a shot in spring training, my friend, Mr. Barossa. There you go. And one of these is I'm probably need to just push in some of my chips and turn like several mediocre prospects into a really good one. I just don't know how likely that is to work. Can we stop getting fucking injured, guys? That would be great. Yikes. A lot of people not accomplishing much. It's actually Juan de Moya prove a little bit. Okay. Yay! Players using prospect talent. Okay. So we've got to make some moves on this roster. Justin Steele, I'm releasing you. You offer no interest to me whatsoever. Gone. Braden Egan, you're going to be back in a week. I'm not going to put you on the IL. Same thing for Flores. Alright, how many pitchers do I presently have? I have... Give me all pitchers, please. I have 16 pitchers. That's way too many pitchers. You know what's a good way to stop him from starting fucking Michael Perez? I'm gonna put him in the minors. Maybe that'll fucking figure you out. I'm gonna trade Jonathan Lowe real quick. Nobody wants him? Okay, then I'll just waive him. Designate him for assignment. Myrie can go to the minors. Like how Brandon Williamson all of a sudden has become like utter trash for like no reason. His stamina's gone. That's fine. And this leaves me at 13 pitchers. Let's get rid of one more. Not Williamson. I definitely want to keep him. I guess you just start the year with Flores on the IL and then figure that out later. Alright. I could use a starting pitcher. Let's say we try to package a few of my second basemen to get a starting pitcher. Let's offer Carter Smith, Ruiz, and Rainier. Well, let's start with, I think the most valuable. I think someone's going to look at Ruiz's gold glove and think he's worth more than he is. And let's look for a starting pitcher. I did see Nestor Cortez. That might be a decent choice. I don't want to get somebody necessarily who's got a giant contract. Shane Panzini. You have a very reasonable contract, my friend, and you're also a fairly talented starting pitcher. I think you'd make a fine addition to the Oakland A's. Done. Because then this means I can probably send down Tebow. And then you get promoted to be a starter pitcher. Next up. Between the five of you, who has the least offensive future? Okay, Everett Johnson is reasonably good. Linares is probably the next guy I'd consider trading. Because I like Rainier a lot. That's why I acquired him. Yeah, Lennar is also pretty lazy. I'm not going to look for veterans, though. I will look at all players, but I will not take a veteran. Because I'm not going to add that much salary. Colby Mayo seems like a very blamed choice. Get it? I knew you got it. Eh. This is all about clearing the second base logjam. So let's add in another second baseman. Let's add Carter Smith too. Get 2 second basemen for the price of 1. What a bargain. Very tempting, by the way, is Espino. Very tempting. Alex McFarland is quite good. Meh. Eh. Like, I'm not saying I won't take on salary, but it has to be someone that actually offers me a quality upgrade. Otherwise, I'd rather take a prospect. Ooh, Jeremy Lambert. I like you a lot. I think I will take Lambert. And let's see if I can get you another prospect in. What about Kurt Sumner? Okay. I had to try. I had to try. What about Jean Rand here? No, I want to keep Swanson. I don't want to trade him until I'm sure I don't have a use for him. I could see a Jonathan Ayala. No. Let me request. See if you have anybody interesting on your Major League roster. I'd obviously love to get Bobby Miller, but I can't afford to pay him. So that would be a big no. Hunter Brown is far more manageable. Wonder if they'd offer up Hunter Brown. No, okay. That's fine. No. Let's just make this deal. I know that wasn't terribly thrilling, but I do think Lambert has a lot of potential. And now I'm just down to 3 second basemen, which seems like a much more appropriate number of second basemen to have. Gregoire can go to the minors. Carrillo to the minors. Petrie stays. Curiel goes. So here's the question. Do we keep Barossa on the roster? Oh, actually, what if we kept Barossa and sent down Petri? Yeah, we'll do that. And then we put Nate Arthur on the 40-man, or the 38-man roster, rather. I think this is probably fine. Oh, I just realized that Joshua Baez is also a pitcher. I think I keep forgetting that. He's not a very good one, but that's fine. And then how do we set up the lineup here? So Muncy plays second. Look, I definitely want Oviedo to get more experience. But I'm not going to pay Max Muncy $10 million to be a platoon guy. I don't want to force you to start him because I genuinely think there's reason you're starting Everett Johnson. No, there isn't. I'm just going to force you to do it. Because I'm sick of you, like, fucking around with my shit. Like, if we're going to be able to fairly judge him, he must play every day. That is mandatory. Okay. Then we have Barossa, Clark, and Leonardo. It's a very different starting rotation than we had last year. The only pitcher last year who started games for us last year was Ian Anderson. And I think Braden Egan. The rest of you guys started barely. Did not start at all. Alright, we will see how this works out, my friends. I am not overwhelmingly filled with hope. But I do think there's enough here that we could be competitive. Because we also all hit really poorly in spring training, so that was kind of weird. Am I even in the top half of minor league systems? No. It's because none of my prospects stay prospects. They all flame out in like incredibly fast time frames. I don't know what's going on with that. I truly don't. I don't know what it is about my players that they lose their potential like instantaneously. But it is getting a little bit frustrating. So Oviedo is going to be playing first base. Then we have Muncy, Green, and Kendall. Clark in center. Barossa in left. Leonardo in right. And then Riley Green is the DH. This is going to be a very odd lineup. We have... like, most of our players are good at something. Like, none of our players are good at nothing. That being said, we don't have a lot of players that are amazing at anything. So, which I think has been par for the course. Like, I'm seeing a lot of greens here, not very many blues. But we'll see what happens. I do think we're probably going to need to make some kind of trade early on in the season, depending how things go. I love Jacob Kendall so much. Do we try to sign you long term? Like, what would it cost me to do a long-term deal with you? Too much money. Okay, never mind. Which is a shame because Kendall's a really good player. But it is what it is. Yeah, I'm definitely going to monitor this and figure out what the fuck happened and see if turning on ghost players fixes that. That may also fix the issue where people aren't developing. I want to check one more setting, though. It's the same place that... Yeah, we'll do that. Because it's more important to me. Like, I don't care how good my minor league teams are. I want them to regularly get improvements. Which means the highest potential players actually doing the most playing. So this is all fine. All right. This will look a whole lot better if we have Paul Skeens. For certain. But whatever. Okay. Alright, my friends, I think this is going to conclude today's episode. Sorry that there wasn't a lot of action in it. I do think we made some interesting trades. That should help us out. And I think we also have made some useful additions. But until we either get a bigger budget so I can go after the bigger name free agents, or until we can find that one player, like a Daniel Cabrera type, a player who just steps into the minors, or who just comes out of nowhere that we get for a song and make him our focal piece. That hasn't happened yet, but it could. We've already won a World Series. Let's not lose sight of that fact. We have won a World Series. Okay, so Muncie's going to be gone at the end of this season. I'm not bringing him back. Oh, let's look sign for, like, pennies. That isn't unrealistic if Muncie has a better year. We'll see, though. But that's conclude today's episode. Hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please remember to like and subscribe. Do let me know in the comments if you can figure out why the fucking hell none of my players can play in the minors at all. Maybe the ghost players will fix that, though. Until next time, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.